Good evening, folks. Tonight's D. We are discussing 5 generational living patterns, reshaping care for older adults. Okay, here we go. The American home is changing quietly, steadily, and profoundly in living rooms across northwestern Pennsylvania and far beyond. The shape of family life is shifting. A grandmother warms her warms her hands around a mug of tea while her daughter finishes a late day team call. A grandson tiptoes through the hallway so he doesn't interrupt a telehealth visit happening in the den. The home, once designed for a nuclear family, is now a layered ecosystem of care, work, schooling, and aging. These changes aren't just demographic curiosities, they are reshaping how older adults receive care at home, redefining the roles families play, and challenging health systems to adapt. 5 generational living patterns, in particular, are rewriting the script. One, multi-generational households, the return of shared roofs. Families are living together again. 3, sometimes 4 generations under one roof. Economic pressures, cultural traditions, and the rising cost of long term care have made multi generational living not just common but often necessary. In these homes, caregiving becomes a daily geography or choreography. A grandson carries in groceries. My daughter organizes medications between meetings. A son in law installs grab bars and rearranges furniture for safety. But intimacy has its price. Privacy thins, stress accumulates. The home must stretch to accommodate new needs, mobility supports, quiet corners for telehealth, and spaces where caregivers can breathe. The house becomes both sanctuary and workspace, a site of love and strain, equal measures. 2, senior immigration, care across state lines. Older adults are moving toward affordability, warmer climates, or simply toward family. But every relocation disrupts the community continuity of care. A move from Pennsylvania to North Carolina can mean leaving behind decades of trusted clinicians, familiar pharmacies, and neighbors who know the rhythms of one's health. Suddenly, care must travel, medical records, medication, histories, durable medical equipment, and the subtle knowledge of what normal looks like for that person. Telehealth becomes a bridge. Interoperable records become essential. Families become the consistent in care, in a care system that must now follow the older adult across state lines without losing coherence. 3. Diversification of the 65 plus population. Culture as a care detriment. The older adult population is more radically and ethnically diverse than ever before. This isn't a footnote, it is a care detriment. Cultural, cultural shapes, culture shapes caregiving. Who provides care, how decisions are made, what foods are prepared, which languages are spoken during medical visits. A one size fits all home care model cannot meet the needs of families whose traditions, languages, and expectations differ. Culturally and linguistically tailored care is no longer optional. It is foundational to safety, trust, and dignity. 4. Delayed independence among younger adults. The boomerang generation as caregivers. Younger adults are staying home longer or returning home after college, job loss, or caregiving needs. Their presence reshapes the caregiving landscape. Some become essential caregivers, driving to appointments, helping with mobility, troubleshooting telehealth platforms. Others navigate the emotional complexity of caregiving while trying to launch careers, manage manage debt, or define their own identities. This pattern expands their caregiving workforce inside the home, but it also increases the risk of burnout and role conflict. The home becomes a site where generational expectations collide, requiring new forms of support and respite. 5. Technology enabled home care, the digital layer of caregiving. Telehealth visits now happen in a kitchen, kitchen tables. Remote monitoring devices blink quietly on nightstands. Smart speakers remind older adults to take medications. Technology has become the invisible scaffolding of home based care. It allows clinicians to support patients from afar and gives families tools to manage complex conditions. But it also introduces new inequities, broadband deserts, digital literacy gaps, and device costs can turn technology from a solution to a barrier. The promise of tech enabled care is real, but only if access is universal. The combined effect, a new ecosystem of home based care. These 5 patterns interact, reinforce, and complicate one another. Together, they create a new ecosystem of home based care, one that is more diverse, more technology, tech, technologically mediated, for family driven, and more dependent on policy innovation than ever before. For health systems, the implications are profound. Care plans must be portable and interoperable. Care agencies must adapt to culturally diverse households. Respite services must expand to support multi generational caregivers. Broadband access becomes a health equity issue. Workforce models must account for family caregivers as part of the care team. For families, the home becomes both sanctuary and clinic, an intimate space where love, obligation, and vulnerability coexist. Closing reflection. The story of aging in America is no longer about institutions, it's about homes, messy, crowded, in, intergenerational homes where caregiving is woven into daily life. These generational living patterns are not temporary blends, they are the new architecture of aging. And if we design policy, payment models, and care systems that honor this reality, we can build a future where older adults receive care that is not only clinically sound but deeply human. Okay, guys, those are your evening shows. I will see everybody tomorrow for shows. Until then, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.